The 2-time rework was one of the most highly anticipated updates in Forsaken, following months of disappointment with how the original survivor contributed to the game. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing if 2-times rework was worth the wait. The old 2-time would focus on more of a solo approach, as they were the only survivor in the game that have no abilities that would benefit the team, making it so that the only thing they could do is distract the killer and make use of their passive ability, the Undying Devotion. This ability would be applied at the start of every round without 2-time having to do anything, and it would only be activated once 2-time is killed the first time. And during Last Man Standing, 2-time would be forced into their second life and their max health would be set to 110, as well as healing 50 health. Now this quickly became a problem for the community, as they complained that 2-time had no influence on the map, and it was especially useless in Last Man Standing as they have no abilities to defend themselves. Now the fact that 2-time had no abilities makes them an easy target for killers to chase, as all they could do is run. And while it might sound good that 2-time would get a second life, the killer could just keep on chasing them, as the speed 2 effect would only last 6 seconds and the killer could outpace them with their stamina. So 2-time is really just a second life without a second chance to actually do anything. It didn't take long for people to realize how useless 2-time was, and frustration from the community to spark up in a short amount of time, making it clear that 2-time adds nothing to the team. People complained that 2-time was utterly useless, and they point out that 2-time was really boring to play. Some people would try and support 2-time by saying that the main purpose of the character was stamina management and to keep juking the killer, but it was argued that you could do this with any character, so this wasn't a valid point. And all of these complaints from the community and the frustration sparking up over time led to the developers announcing that there would be a 2-time rework, which became the most highly anticipated update of Forsaken's existence. Developers would even post teasers to build up even more hype, and they would even release the character to select players before its official public launch to address potential issues before a wider release, which was probably done so that they could take in the feedback and avoid any issues to do with 2-time once the update was officially released. The 2-time rework's official release quickly meant that Forsaken went onto the front page of Roblox, becoming the 4th most played game at the time with 360,000 concurrent players. Forsaken's average concurrent player count being less than half of that meant that this update sent the community through the roof. 2-time was changed from a character which was focused on surviving into a sentinel survivor with survivalist capabilities, which now had abilities that were able to disable the killer's attacks. 2-time now has an ability called the Sacrificial Dagger, which is where you stab your dagger forward and gain resistance 3 for less than a second with a very slight lunge. If it hits the killer in the front, it will deal 25 damage, apply slowness 2 to the killer for 2 seconds and heal 2-time for 10 health. And if it hits the killer in the back, it stuns the killer for 4 seconds and it will heal 2-time for 20 health. 2-time also now has a crouch ability, which reduces the movement speed to 9 from 15, including making them undetectable and invisible, and you're able to stab out of a crouch, which will make you lunge a lot further than you would by standing. By hitting the killer, you have a bar on the side of your screen now called Oblation, which appears when you deal damage to the killer. When you fill this bar, it will grant the ability to have a second life, where 2-time will have 40 HP, is granted speed 2 for 6 seconds, and weakness 5 for 12 seconds when respawning. 2-time also now has a ritual ability, which lets 2-time place a respawn point anywhere on the map. So when they get killed and their oblation bar is full, they're able to respawn at the ritual point. 2-time went from a passive survivor to a tactical and aggressive player, providing benefit for the teammates around them. The short answer is yes. And the long answer is 2-time quickly went from one of the most hated, trashed-on survivors to one of the most played and even quickly deemed annoying survivors. People even say that it fits the lore of the character better, and while improving its gameplay, it also fits in with its difficulty being set at 4 stars. People have agreed that 2-time is no longer boring to play and is now a useful survivor, and probably, if not, one of the strongest survivors at the moment, with questions that it might even be better than Shadletsky now. So, what do you think? Was the 2-time rework actually worth the wait? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!